Welcome to SimpleSpiritualityPH. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Regine. I'm an intuitive, manifesting-based tarot reader. I am a certified Reiki healer and overall lightworker. Before we dive into today's video, I would like to invite everyone who would like to receive notifications of my new videos to please hit the subscribe button over there. If you like this video later on, please give it your thumbs up. If you have any comments, suggestions you want to say, hey, please do comment them down below. And if you would like your very own tarot reading or Reiki healing session with me, online for now course, here are the details. Alrighty, so let's get to the meat of the video. Now, today, what are we doing today? Actually, today is a Saturday, and I'm filming this intro because I have a lot of clips lined up. Like, I have a lot of little clips that I have collected over the week. Some of the things that I have done over the week, and just kind of like a vlog type update. I think that a lot of people have been watching the vlog, and it's pretty nice that I get feedback that you actually enjoy looking into my life. My life isn't crazy, like crazy in terms of a lot of things that like for example, I'm not traveling right now, and even when I was in New York, I didn't have a lot of travel videos. I'm so sorry. I can probably, if you want to, I can make a video on the things that I did in New York. I'll probably have photos, but not videos. So that's something that I can do. Yeah, I'll give you like a rundown of all the stuff, the touristy stuff that I did, although I've been to New York so many times now. It's not even a tourist destination for me anymore. It's kind of like a second home already. But yeah, so I have a couple of videos lined up for you, like short clips of what I did over the week, and I hope that you enjoy. So without further ado, here we go. Hi guys. So today, I don't have class today, but one of the things I'm going to do is to go through my closet again because, okay, so some of the stuff that I had in New York just arrived here in the Philippines. And so I made the mistake of actually shipping all of my winter wear here and, of course, not having a place to put them temporarily, because when I go back, I'm going to have to bring them again. So my mom actually said, why did you do that? You should have just left it with your aunt or something, so that you don't have to put it back, bring it back. I agree now that I think about it, but I also, so this is what we talk about, right? Whenever we have something negative happen, so this is not really negative per se, but it is a bit of a pickle for me. But whenever something negative happens, it's really just like a GPS for you, or kind of like an eye-opener for you to really figure out where you are at that point in time. And what this has taught to me is that, first of all, I should get storage in New York where I can just put all my coats there and all my winter wear there, because I love my winter wear, and I love my boots, and I love my coats, and all of that good stuff. So that's something I have to look into. Second of all, I have too much stuff, you guys. I have too much. I wish I could show you my closet, but you're going to be freaked out by it. I have too much clothes. I have too many clothes, right? And third, I want to be a minimalist. I'm currently in that process of figuring out how to be a minimalist. And I think this is a great way to start. Remember, when we manifest things just fall into place. You don't even have to lift a finger. And so I didn't even know that by me sending over my winter wear here would really wake me up to the fact that I really now associate with being a minimalist. And I want to get rid of a lot of things. Not really to get rid of it because I hate them, but kind of like I find it wasteful now that I have all of these things, and I'm not really like, I'm not making, like, I'm not maximizing them, you know what I mean? And they're just there, and I don't really need them. So I'm at that point in my life. I wish I could show you my closet, but I'm actually I feel really, not really ashamed, but you'd laugh at it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And whenever I don't have classes, this is what I normally do. I do all the things, I do all the random things that I actually do need to do. In fact, I have a planner every day. So I have like something like this. And I write down what I need to do all over here. And then every time I've done them, I will cross them out, just like that. So let's say, for example, I paid my bills today. I have, it's Tuesday. Oh no, it's Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. So I actually have paid my bills, so I will cross that out like that, just like that. And I can see the progress. So that's one thing actually also that I wanted to share is that whenever you feel like nothing's going for your life, or whenever you feel like there are things which are stagnant, especially when you're manifesting something big, do things that you can easily cross off on your list. Do things which actually give you immediate kind of like satisfaction, because sometimes we do have to wait for our manifestations, especially if they're big, or particularly if we have a lot of resistance to it, or if we're having a difficult time. I saw on Instagram, I saw a phrase on Instagram, just because it's taking slow, just because things are happening slowly doesn't mean that there's no progress, right? So even though we can see stuff happening in the background, that doesn't mean that things aren't happening, right? And you can actually make things happen for yourself, first and foremost, right? So list down all the things that you need to do and then cross them out so you can see your own progress. So yeah, I am now going to tackle my closet. I don't know how. Wish me luck, you guys, because I do have a lot of clothes that I want to get through today. So I think I found a way to show you. Look at all of this stuff, you guys. Like, I can't even begin to go through that stuff. So this is just my closet, you guys. Those are without winter wear because I have no place to put the winter wear. I do need to do some repairs so like that. And I do have like that going on. So I need a couple of repairs as well. While I'm still here in the Philippines, right? While I'm still taking a culinary here. And so yeah, I have to go through all of that stuff and weed out a lot of them. You know, majority of these I don't even wear anymore. Not because they don't fit me. Some of them don't fit me, but because they just don't resonate with me anymore. Like my styles have changed. There's even some stuff here, so like it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So that's how it looks now. Let's see how it's gonna look like after I'm done with it. Wish me luck, you guys. So I've managed to clean out a little bit of the closet, just as progress, but I then decided to clean other stuff as well. So you can see that's trash over there. And yeah, I don't know. That's the thing with me. Once I start cleaning one thing, I suddenly start cleaning other things. So let's see. I hope I get to finish both because I want my room lighter. And I'll talk about that a little bit later on as well. Good morning. Today I don't have class. My pimple is still here. As you can see, I do have class tomorrow though. I think we're going through souffles tomorrow. So I'm really excited about that. But I wanted to show you guys that, so one of the things that I do every morning, I have coffee. I will usually have dark coffee, meaning just straight up with nothing on it, black coffee. And that's my jam. That's my daily jam. Although yesterday, the thing is, we had some friends over. My mom had her best friends over, which is really, really cute. It was like a sleepover for them in the house. And so I did all the cooking and all that stuff. And while they were waiting, I made them coffee. And I made a huge, huge batch of coffee. And they weren't able to finish it. And so I decided to make it into a cold brew. And I think I may have just made the best cold brew latte. Is there such a thing? I don't know. I'm not versed with that the coffee area just yet. I just know that I drink a lot of it. But I have just made, I think, the best cold brew combination for myself. So this is actually Benguet blend. It's local from the Philippines. It's Benguet blend. Comes from the farmers up there in Benguet. And it was 3 scoops of that, and then another scoop of Moroccan blend. So I did put a little bit of like prepared beans, like already ground beans, ready to drink coffee. Not a 3-in-1, but like just a ready to drink coffee. And I steeped it, since it's a cold brew, right? I steeped it for a while. It's been steeping for, it's closing in on 24 hours now, so that's good. Everything is supposedly, the essence of it, hopefully, is already extracted. But yeah, so that's what I made today. That's what I made for this morning. And I did put a little bit of evaporated milk on it, just a tiny bit, like just a touch, because when something is as bitter as this, you'll want to counter that that flavor, right? I do like the bitterness of really black coffee, but I also like the opposite end of the spectrum, where it's light and creamy, almost buttery, sort of, you know? So a little bit, just a touch of evaporated milk. It looks like a lot, but evaporated milk is thicker, so it makes it like a lot lighter when it's put on here. And I did put a little stevia in it. So this is like a really good delineation from what I usually do in the morning, which is straight up just black coffee. So that's usually the first thing that I will do every single morning, regardless of whether I have class or not. So next thing I do, I will usually post. Let me just open the window here, you guys. Like the window, when I open the window, it becomes so much brighter. Let's see. So I will usually post, and I don't know if I showed you, but I recently switched up the look. You have Japanese counter words here. So I switched up the location of my decks, and I will, for my post, I will usually just go here, stand a while, and like just look at the decks, and really like check out which one wants to be read. Yes, this is a Sally ragdoll, like kind of toy. This is something my sister got me. A little cute, right there. Burning Barber from A&C Handcrafted. This is not sponsored, but I do love A&C Handcrafted. This is my favorite scent. Oh, this is my favorite scent from them. The Sovereign. And it's very fitting because my name is Regine, which means queen. I am a sovereign. And so, I don't know what deck we're going to be choosing today. What calls out to you guys? Like, I have a lot. I even have some here below. It's a mess, but I have some below. And so, yeah, I'll stand here and I'll just look at all the decks and check out which one wants to be read. I think maybe today we'll take it very light. Today I'm also going to be filming an unboxing of this, because this came with a box that I had from New York. I put it there because it was heavy. And I haven't really done an unboxing of it just yet. It still has the thing in the center, like the thing that keeps it all together. Maybe today we'll use I haven't used this in a while. This is not a tarot deck, but I do have an unboxing of it. This is the Affirmators. So we'll use that today. So I'm going to be using a fluffy little mat for my background. I'm going to show you guys afterwards. I take pride in the backgrounds of my posts, simply because I love aesthetics, and I will usually have a lot of stuff there, tools and stuff. I will usually go through a lot of, like, what do you call this, pegs, to see which one fits best. Which card is calling out? I think it's this one, Power. So this is going to be the card for today. You'll see it if you're on my Instagram. And I will usually just style them according to what intuitively feels good. So, Celestite is calling to me today. We're going to be using that. It's a very beautiful color. And Celestite is really good for your dreams. It assists you in your dreams. It's also the crystal of angels. Not just one angel, but the angels in general. And I don't know what else. Maybe let's find another crystal. So I finished it, and this is what's going to go on my Instagram today. I hope you get to see it. So for class this week is actually pretty interesting. We started doing breads, different kinds of breads. We actually started out with the baking side of things first, which is pretty interesting. I'm not a fan of baking actually because I feel that it's too restrictive in a sense of I need to measure. And I am not one for measuring. I actually have trouble, in the past at least, I have had trouble following recipes, even for savory foods, because in my mind, well, you can just eyeball it, and you can actually eyeball it consistently to the point where you don't even need to look at your recipe, right? And I had a big ego back then when it came to food because I knew that I cooked well. I knew that I ate well. I knew that I cooked well. I seasoned well. And so I would always say, like, for example, I actually don't need a recipe to create a great dish. But then I realized what culinary has taught me so far is that there's nothing wrong with following a recipe. In fact, you have more freedom following a recipe than you do making a dish out of your own, like, what do you call this? Out of your own mind, like creating a recipe from your own mind. It takes a lot of time, you guys, to actually create a polished dish. So there's a lot of testing in between. There's a lot of, like, there's a lot of nitpicking, actually. Whereas when you have a recipe meaning the methodology, right? So I'll refer to recipe in terms of methodology. So when you have a recipe, you can just substitute ingredients, and that's like the best thing ever. Like, if you kind of have an idea of what comes first, what methods to do first, what techniques to do first, then it gives you so much more, like it opens the door so wide for you to be able to test so many different kinds of ingredients. So now I actually love following recipes, but I still am not a fan of baking, not that much, The most that I love about baking is crepes so far, and I'm not a bread eater actually. But anyways, I digress. So this is what we did for, this is what we've been doing for culinary so far. We have tested out crepes, and I have developed my own crepe recipe. If you're in the Philippines, you can message me because I sell them during the weekend. So I do them during the weekends and I sell them. So send me a message at Jin1417 and you can order from me. So yeah, we've done crepes, and I was so happy about that. Here are some of the photos. And crepes I really, really like because actually when I first took a crash course on culinary, I had a 5-day crash course culinary class in the past. In 2018, I think, 2019, yeah, 2019. We did crepes back then, and I know that I'm confident in my crepes, and I still am pretty confident with my crepes, and they taste good, and I've developed a really good recipe that's my own signature recipe for it within the compounds of the technique and the methodology, so I'm really happy about that. It was the first time I think that I was going to open my mind to baking, honestly. So yeah, thank you crepes for doing that. The next thing that we did were souffles, and here are some of the photos. And souffles actually, I'm not too keen on souffles. I realize that I'm not too keen on them. They're very beautiful kinds of pastries, You know, they're very light, they're very dainty, they have a good mouthfeel if you are not into chewing. You know, like for example, your grandmother who probably does not like to chew a lot will benefit so much from the flavor and the lightness and the airiness of a souffle because it doesn't sacrifice taste. It's just very light and dainty. You know, it's a very, yes, I have no other words for it. It's a very light and dainty pastry for me. But for me particularly, maybe it's because I don't like pastries in general, or not really like, I'm not fond of pastries in general. I don't choose sweet things in general. Between, um, let's say, for example, between a cheese souffle and a strawberry souffle, I would choose the cheese. Between a spinach souffle and a chocolate souffle, I would choose the spinach souffle, even if it was for dessert. So I'm that kind of person. Um, but yeah, souffles are they're very interesting, and the methodology is very difficult because of the whipping, the whisking, the whisking method. So I'm really, really like that was that was a moment for me. So yeah, that was day 2 of pastries. That was day 2 and 3 actually of pastries because we do it at least twice. We do each thing twice, like 2 days, just so we are really ingrained. And I love that about my school. That's really a great technique. That's really great um, strategy to make the students learn. So I love it. The third thing we did was yesterday. We had school yesterday. Today's Saturday. So yesterday's Friday. We did quick breads and breakfast. I, so far, next to crepes, you know, because crepes I actually feel very neutral about. You know, it's easy. It's so easy to create to do a crepe. But in terms of actual bread and baking and pastry, I loved quick breads. Basically, because this is the category that I find myself um, to be eating. So, um, quick breads are easy in a sense that you don't have to wait for them to rise. You know, I mean, I think that's why they're called quick breads in the first place. So we did a lot of muffins, we did scones, we did biscuits, we did Yorkshire puddings, and we had roast beef as a side dish. Where in the world would you have roast beef as a side dish? None, except culinary school when you're doing Yorkshire puddings or maybe gravy, you know? So I absolutely enjoyed that. I will eat scones. I love scones or scones, you know, depending on which region you're from. There's a debate, right? And how to pronounce it correctly or more appropriately. Um, I love biscuits, and I love the two of them. And I love Yorkshire puddings because first of all, they're more on the savory note. So I will eat them like by on its own, without any clotted cream, without any jam, even without the gravy for the Yorkshire pudding, even without the roast beef for the Yorkshire pudding. I particularly did the Yorkshire pudding. Um, it turned out well. We cooked it in beef tallow, and it was it was nice because in the beginning it was nice and poofy. But of course, when we took it out of the oven, it deflated a little bit. But that was fine. The taste was great. It was to my palate, and I was so happy about it because it was finally nice for me to look forward to a baking day. I mean, not that I don't look forward to it. I love my classmates and seeing them. I mean, I love the process, but just like more forward, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. So here are some of the photos that we did for some of the photos of the pastries that we did for quick breads and breakfast. So yeah, my team actually made peach muffins, which I actually do love. I do enjoy muffins, but I did not know how much sugar was in muffins. I had an idea, but I didn't know that my idea was times 10, basically in terms of sugar content. But yeah, um, so yeah, that was it for culinary school this week. Next week we're gonna have another quick breads session, which I'm excited. I hope we get to, like, all fingers crossed, I hope we get to do more scones, biscuits. I hope we get to do a biscuit this time because our team wasn't able to do a biscuit. We did the scones, the muffins, and the Yorkshire pudding. So I hope we get a biscuit, like a cheese biscuit or something like that. You can tell my excitement. But yeah, a cheese biscuit or like, I don't know, what's like a chive biscuit would be cool. I don't think I've ever seen a chive biscuit. I'm sure it exists, but like that would be very cool. Or like a biscuit with some chive seasoning, or maybe a cream cheese slash chive or sour cream slash chive, aka some sort of a ranch type of dressing. I don't know. The possibilities are endless, you guys, just endless. And that's it. I hope it was interesting. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, suggestions, you want to say hey, please do comment them down below. If you would like your very own tarot reading or Reiki healing session with me, online for now course, here are the details. And that's it. Stay happy, stay healthy. I will continue this kind of vlog type thing wherein I have like showcases of the week. That's pretty cool. I think that's a pretty cool thing to do, right? Like it's kind of like for myself as well to keep the posterity so that anytime it's kind of like, how can I say this? The vlog to me right now actually is more of like a visual diary of what I did at this point in time. And I'm so happy actually that we have the technology now that I can just simply look back on a video and see how I was, what I was doing, and what the pictures were like, right? And what the video was like, what the atmosphere was like. It's very cool. So yeah, see you guys next time. Until the next vlog or the next spirituality video. Bye guys.